In today's news, we have just received confirmation from the Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell on the desired interest rate cut, 50 basis points, a 0.5%. This is a very big deal, and we will unravel the implications this may have on the market in just a moment. But before we do, the SEC and Gary Gensler have been getting cooked all day, which is especially bullish for the crypto industry and especially XRP with their ongoing lawsuit, but not as bullish as this document here from Citibank. This document explains the big reset, what it is, and how fortunate you are right now because you get to be able to take advantage of this so-called big reset. So what is the big reset, you ask? Well, simply put, the big reset refers to the recovery phase that follows a prolonged period of consolidation, sideways momentum, or corrections, negative price performance across various asset classes. Citibank highlights why it is crucial for all of us, that includes you, to not miss this opportunity. The struggle this time round though is the timing of when this investment should take place, if you will, because in the past the typical timing occurred when there was blood in the street, all-time lows, recessions, you get the picture. However, this time round Citibank documented that the big reset will happen, it is already happening, without a major recession. All asset classes, so crypto, XRP, they are simultaneously positioned to deliver strong returns. So for this reason, with interest rates resetting, they've already done so and more being coming, investors should reset their market expectations, devise their own trading strategies to take advantage of this confirmed bullish cycle. Now this is very huge news for crypto, especially XRP, due to their role and integration into the monetary system right now. But I want to quickly backtrack and touch a little bit onto this point here regarding recessions from Citibank. Does Citi's statement mean there won't be a recession, or that it doesn't matter whether there is one because the big reset has already started and it will continue going no matter what? My point kind of segues onto the decision here from the Fed Chairman Jerome Powell to cut rates by 50 basis points. Very bullish for the longevity and incoming crypto bull cycle. However, firstly, as we can see in this post from Chad here, this graph showcases the times the Fed had decided to cut rates with a 50 basis point. Coincidentally, every single time the Fed has cut these rates by 50 basis points has followed with this grey part here, which is the indication of a recession. Every time, no matter what. Not to say therefore that history will repeat itself, but it's worth for you to keep that in mind. So in that regard, Citi's statement is leaning more towards a massive money-making big reset opportunity regardless of the incoming recession, that we are going to see strong returns. And with that in mind, we have this post here from Smoke, confirmation that international rate cuts by central banks will benefit both gold and crypto because monetary policies from central banks directly influence liquidity and flow into assets like crypto. And with XRP having such close connections and partnerships with the central banks all around the world, with an ETF on the way thanks to Grayscale's trust that just launched, the lawsuit coming to an end very, very soon, which we'll talk about more in just a moment again. Come back to that in a little bit moment. Best believe though that the central bankers, in my opinion, will jump on XRP the moment that they are able. Crypto is positioned for a strong rebound as this cycle of rate cuts unfold, and this flows into what I want to talk about real briefly, a strong rebound, meaning corrections followed by an explosion in price. But as we can see in the market right now, the market seems undecided on which direction to move for the time being. I predicted that we would see corrections followed by a bullish momentum, so a strong rebound. But while this is still on the cards, it's still on the table, this can still happen, it's worth noting that there has been rising speculation of this 50 basis point cut for the past 3 to 4 days, which is why we saw a correction in the price of Bitcoin right here. We saw Bitcoin momentarily correct and then recover back to the 60k support level. So potentially the market has already prepared for this outcome, and therefore should a correction occur, it may be minimal. So again, just keep that in mind, but ultimately in the less immediate short term, so more so in the next few weeks, it won't matter. A crypto bull run with the rate cuts is now here. As Citi has confirmed, you need to take advantage, build your knowledge, which is why I created a free to join Discord server. 330 of us right now are working to achieve financial freedom, and we are growing in numbers and knowledge every single day. So by all means, come be part of the family. Link to join will be in the description below. But yes, with the first rate cuts now out of the way, there aren't many things left suppressing the price of XRP in my opinion, aside from regulations which are now being implemented as we speak, and the SEC. Speaking of which, we have this major post from Fox Business journalist Elena Terrett, a new powerful testimony at the Financial Committee hearing today from Robinhood CLO, Chief Legal Officer Dan Gallagher. This is big because he was the former SEC commissioner, so he's someone with a lot of weight therefore, and also because Robinhood just relisted XRP very, very recently. So this battle here, this statement from Robinhood from Dan Gallagher, this testimony is actually, in my opinion, holds more weight to us XRP holders than you may think. Dan Gallagher went on to describe the efforts Robinhood went to attempt to register with the SEC, over a dozen meetings and calls over 18 months, a year and a half, which ultimately ended with the SEC issuing a Wells notice to Robinhood, which is just mind-blowing. Despite the SEC constantly demanding transparency in their fight against the crypto industry, Gallagher says the SEC staff were generally non-responsive to Robinhood's request for guidance or feedback for registration. Dan Gallagher went on to slam the agency in front of Congress, and no, that's not just Gary Gensler, it's all of them, as the Commission have had the authority and have had it since 1966 to establish at least a basic provisional regulatory regime for digital assets, yet they failed to do so. Some massive fighting words, and he wasn't the only one. We can see here, US Congressman Warren Davidson says Gary Gensler and the SEC has willfully undermine the ability to custody Bitcoin, so therefore he's stating that's their intention all along, which is a massive accusation, although truth be told I don't disagree personally. Next up, Chairman Republican French Hill stated that instead of providing legal clarity, so doing their jobs, the Gensler's SEC approach has injected even more confusion and uncertainty into the markets. And this is the exact same thing Ripple and us XRP holders have been trying to tell you, warn you about for years now. Yeah, most of you just laughed and called us shillers or scammers. Ripple's Chief Legal Officer Stuart Oldrotty here once more took a blowtorch, a nuke to the SEC, stating earlier today that they've been sanctioned by a court for outright visiting a fraud upon the court. The question is not why they are doing what they're doing, which is crazy in itself, but is why they still have their jobs. Listen closely.
I don't think the SEC has established itself as the leading regulatory voice on crypto around the world. I travel the world, as I'm sure everyone else does. I meet with regulators in Singapore, in the UK, in the EU, in Brazil, in Dubai. The SEC is not mentioned. And in fact, I think that this administration has done tremendous harm to the credibility of the organization as it looked when Dan served as a commissioner. That's my mom is here. Good. But think about it. They're a self-appointed cop on the beat. The statute has not. No law has appointed them the cop on the beat. In our case, they've been called out by a judge for not faithfully applying the law. In your case, they've been called out by a judge for acting arbitrarily and capriciously. In the debt box case in Utah, they've been sanctioned by a court for outright visiting a fraud upon the court. The question is not why are they doing what they're doing, is why do they still have their jobs? And I think the rest of the world has moved on. They recognize the value of the technology, the jobs, the tax dollars, the innovation that it can bring to the economy. And they want to create a framework where the technology can prosper while we protect consumers, protect the integrity of the market, and keep bad actors out. That's what they're interested in doing. And they have moved so past the US and so past the SEC. I worry that I don't know if we can ever catch up at this point.
It truly is an evil world that we live in. Hopefully, though, the submission from the SEC of guilt and wrongdoings by the whole agency will see an urgent need for a dismissal, a dismantle, or potentially a rebranding to get Gary Gensler and majority of them just out of office, get them out of there. Stop issuing warnings and letters, just do something for once, please. Get them out of office. The good news, though, following that is that with this recent development, there seems to be little to no chance now the SEC will have any grounds on to appeal the Ripple decision. Therefore, all that is left is a settlement deal and legal regulatory clarity of XRP in the United States, the only one in existence, and therefore a price explosion. Once Gary Gensler is out, there's only one more major influence that we need to get rid of, his partner in crime, Elizabeth Warren, which in this interview with Ripple CLO, Stuart Oldrotty, Robinhood CLO, Dan Gallagher, and Bullish CEO Tom Farley, we can hear Tom Farley confirm that John Deaton will likely win. There is no place for Elizabeth Warren in this new world of crypto of XRP's inevitable dominance.
Look, lover or hater, Senator Warren is amazingly effective, and she's most effective at controlling certain agencies. And the way she does that is controlling who goes in to run those agencies. So whether it be the CFTC or the SEC or the OCC or the FTC. And if you noticed, she came out real early and real hard for Kamala Harris for president. So this concept of, oh, President Harris wins and everything changes, I'll tell you one thing that I don't think is going to change is Senator Warren gets to decide who runs the SEC. And Senator Warren isn't interested in being helpful to crypto. She isn't interested in defining what is a security, what isn't a security, what is DeFi, what isn't DeFi, what can be done, what can't be done, how do we bring innovation in this country. She hates all of it. So I don't see anything changing in a Democratic administration. Could even potentially get worse, although that's certainly not my hope, and I'm not fear-mongering. But I just don't see things getting better.
Come chill, chat, and learn so much more on the free Discord server. Again, the link's below. But remember, don't look short term, think long term, and I'll see you in the next one.